Hey besties, I'm here today with a little reading wrap up for April and May. So we had a lot of good books in this month and I'm very excited to get into them. I did not read as much as I did in March, but that's to be expected. I read way too much in March. I don't honestly know how I had time for it. So let's just get right into this. Also, I did think that my PJ pants were gonna be out of frame, so let's pretend like these are real pants. They're just so comfy. Okay, starting with the first book of April, which is Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This was the final in the Natural series. So this was teens in the FBI working on cold cases. I really enjoyed it. I raced through the series. I could not get enough. Even though the romance did not go the way I wanted to. It's like such a small little subplot that I got over it. And I still enjoyed the series, and the end was cool. It's been a little bit, so I'm trying to remember what even the case was for this one, but I do remember enjoying it, and I gave it 4 stars, so yeah, I would definitely recommend the series. It's a lot of fun. Any kind of cold case, serial killer, that kind of stuff intrigues you, you would enjoy this. It did kind of fuck with my dreams for a little bit, so beware. Next, I read Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. This is part of the When in Rome series. So it's small town, it's like Rome, Kentucky. Each of them follows a different sibling. This is the oldest sister, so you know I resonate with an older sister. It was her, kind of like her enemy at work, or her rival. Yeah, that's a better word. Enemies do not belong in contemporary romance. No one in the real world has an enemy. You have a rival, whatever. They're both school teachers, and he moved away, and then he moves back, and he moves next door. So they have a nice little banter I really enjoyed. Honestly, this was definitely my favorite in the series, because I know you're gonna be like, why do you read this if it isn't your favorite series? But it's not my favorite series. Every book I pick up and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll like this better than last. And this one I was actually correct with. I think I'd rank it Beg, Borrow, or Steal, When in Rome, Practice Makes Perfect. Practice Makes Perfect I did not enjoy. It was just too kitschy, quirky girl. But this was really fun, and I would recommend this. And also, if you just want a small town, no smut whatsoever, romance series, I think you'd enjoy this one. Next, I read a book that literally wrecked me, and it's Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. She did not have enough trigger warnings on this, honestly. I was sobbing by the end of this. I gave this 5 stars, just so you know. I did enjoy the fact that it wrecked me, but it did. Okay, sorry, that was right behind my head. If you don't like insta love, you might not like this, because it follows this couple who they go on literally one date and then she moves across the country. And it's kind of long distance relationship, but they're not supposed to be dating because they never know if they're gonna live together, live in the same city again, but they're obsessed with each other. And it's just such an acts of service couple. I really loved it. And it just warms your heart. And her mom has, I think, dementia. And so she's taking care of her mom, who doesn't remember her. It's just so depressing. It was a hard read. If you're looking for some escapism from reality, I don't know if this would be the one for you. But if you're looking for a heart-wrenching love story that makes you believe in love again, I think this is a good one. I did very much enjoy it. Yeah, Abby Jimenez did it again. 5 stars. Next, I was so excited about this one. This is Two Twisted Crowns. This is a sequel for One Dark Window, which I obsessively read. I enjoyed it so much. It was such a different fantasy duology, and I just really enjoyed the world building. I loved the 2 main characters in the last one, and this was a sequel. So this one added a new POV to it, which I did enjoy. It's the cousin, and his character is really fun. And then it added a new romance story with the new POV. So I did enjoy that. However, I don't think it focused enough on the original couple for me, because that's what I was obsessed with in the first one. I really like the 2 main characters, especially the main female character. I'm so sorry, I can't remember your names, besties. Raven is the guy, though. Elsif is the girl. Yeah, it was just not a lot of Elsif and Raven. And it was a little bit of them separately, but not, literally none of them together. And I understand, the circumstances of the previous book is why that they weren't together, but it was just not what I was looking for in the sequel. So I still really enjoyed this. I still enjoyed the world building. The story's really fun, but I'd give this a 4 star because it's not everything I wanted in the sequel, but still a very good book, and I would recommend the series. And I'm really excited for the new book of hers that just came out. So stay tuned. I'll probably read that soon. Next, I read A False Start by Elsie Silver, which, my bad, this is the final book in a series of hers, so definitely did not start where I should have. So all of the other couples were already together by this, and I was really having a hard time keeping track of everyone's names. Besides the sister from the Heartless, Flawless, Chestnut Springs, right? Yeah, I think the sister from Chestnut Springs is in this, and she's one of the couples in here, so I recognized her. And everyone else I was trying to place, and then like, wait, I haven't met any of these people before. This is the final book. And so because it's the final book, it also had like this epilogue of all the couples, that I'm like, I need to wait to read this. So now I need to go back and read all of the other books in the series. But I did enjoy this one. It's a very large age gap. It's like brother's best friend. I love that trope, so that was fun. It was really cute. And just a fun, kind of like western-y, small town. Can you tell I like small town romances? Small town romance. So I think I gave this like a 3.5 star. Nothing revolutionary. I think I like the Chestnut Springs series better so far, but also maybe this would have resonated with me more if I knew who the rest of the characters were, because there were a lot of callbacks to them. So just a heads up going in. Next, I read the final in another series, but I actually read the first two too. So this is The Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake. I read the first two last year and I really enjoyed them, and I was very excited to get to the third, but for some reason it just wasn't calling to me until it finally was. So I finally picked this up and I read this in April. I don't even know where to start with this. I saw that people ripped this book to shreds, so I just want to start off by saying I did not hate it as much as everyone did on Goodreads. Like, it has like an average of 2 stars, which I find a little crazy. But at the same time, it wasn't what I was expecting, nor was it what I really wanted in the final book, so I kind of understand where people are coming from, but it's still like well written. It's still a good story. She still has something to say with it. And I felt like the character development of the like core group was really good, and I really enjoyed seeing where their characters went and the relationships went. However, she did not give some people who deserved it the endings they deserved, and that was a little frustrating. And she also added in a lot of new POVs that I didn't really enjoy. And she writes, the POV chapters are so long that sometimes it takes a while to get to the next character, so I would go like hundreds of pages without like checking in with one character. I'm reading a rando's POV, and I understood how they kind of tied into the story, but I still felt like I wanted more from the characters that I cared about in this. And I wanted happy endings for them. Keep that in mind when you read this, but I will say I still enjoyed it. I still enjoy her writing style a lot, and I just enjoyed that I feel like everything she writes, she like has a message with. And that's very cool. I gave this 4 stars. Next, I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. A little off season for this one. I think I saw this like blowing up in the fall, but I like wasn't ready to pick it up yet. And then my mom started reading the series, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to start this now. So I read the first one, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. It's very cute. It's this girl, she moves to a small town. Her aunt leaves her cafe, and she doesn't know if she wants to stay there. And it's sort of her integrating into the small town. And then of course, a grumpy farmer and her have a little romance. So yeah, it's nothing groundbreaking. It was enjoyable. I got through it quickly. It's pretty decent smut, so 3.5 stars. And then the star of this month, Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I loved this so much, and I know not everyone did, so now you're gonna have to hear my spiel about why I did love this. And I loved it. I like could not put this down. I really enjoyed the side plot of this, which is I think what some people didn't enjoy. The premise of this is 2 writers, they're fighting to write this woman's memoir. This woman has been off the grid for 20 years. She had a crazy life, and no one knows what really happened to her. And so it's these 2 writers fighting to write her story. So half of it is the 2 of them have a little romance and them getting to know each other. And then the other half is the woman telling her story of her life. And I just love, I don't know if it's memoirs that I love, but I loved hearing about her story, and I thought it was so interesting. I enjoyed that plot as much as I enjoyed the romance, so I never felt like it was like dragging on, and I was always interested to see what was coming next, because she kind of went chronologically through her life and her like family's history. Then I just really liked the romance too. Like, I thought they were super cute. I loved their dynamic together. I also loved like her underlying like family issues that she was working through, and she goes and she stays with her mom, and it's just like so beautifully written that I felt like I was there with her, and their relationship was just like very complex, and just super interesting. I just think Emily Henry is such a beautiful writer, and maybe people like this because it's not completely romance. I still think it's romance. I just think it had an interesting subplot, and some romances do not have an interesting subplot. It definitely does ride the line of maybe just fiction. This is similar to how Taylor Jenkins Reid does. This kind of reminded me of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I also really enjoyed. So yes, I gave this 5 stars, and I would recommend people to read it. I don't know if everyone will like it, and that's okay. Moving into May, I was kind of in the mood for something like similar to that, but different. That's very descriptive. So I landed on The Favorites by Lane Fargo. This is also something that I've been hearing a lot about. It's kind of memoir-y, but fiction, in the sense that it's about this ice skating duo, and it flips between the main girl's POV and then people being interviewed about the duo. So it kind of written like Daisy Jones and the Six-esque. Can you tell I love Taylor Jenkins Reid and will compare everything to her. I really enjoyed this. It also had like an underlying thriller vibe to it that I thought at the beginning, and then it kind of lost and I was a little confused by, but I still really liked this, and it's very fast paced. I wanted to know what was happening. I was moving through it quickly. The only thing that I will say I did not enjoy was the romance. I did not fuck with that man at all, and I didn't want them together. But I don't know if that was the main point of the story, so I got over it, and I still enjoyed the book, so I gave it 4 stars. Next we have Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. So this is a sequel to Pumpkin Spice Cafe. This is about the manager of the bookstore, which I love, fisherman tour guide-esque guy, and he has been obsessed with her for forever, and she just like doesn't think he's being serious. And so this is him like actively trying to pursue her. They're kind of going on a little bit of a scavenger hunt together. It's really cute, and he's just obsessed with her, which I love. Another fun, quick, small town romance, 3.5 stars. Next, I read One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune, and I loved this so much. I read this I think this is a perfect time to read it. Like, read it now when we're just starting summer. It is such good summer vibes. She writes the location so well. I feel like I'm there. And this is technically the sequel to Every Summer After. Maybe it's just a companion because it doesn't look like a series in Goodreads, so I was a little confused by it, but it follows the brother from Every Summer After, who I loved. I loved him so much. He's so cute, and he's just so misunderstood, so I'm glad he got a book and he got his love story. It follows this girl who's moving with her grandma for the summer into one of their friends' summer houses. She spent one summer there when she was 16, and she just loves the small little town. I think this takes place in Canada. And then it follows the guy, and he's kind of like the groundskeeper there. His family has lived on the island forever, and so it's a little romance between the two. She has a little summer bucket list that he helps her figure out. She's kind of struggling. She's burnt out from work and doesn't really know if she's finding joy in her world anymore, and she's been broken up with, and you know, she's just struggling, and her grandma's struggling too. And he just brings so much joy and light in their lives, and it's really cute. So I really enjoyed this. My only complaint is the ending. Not what I would have liked from the ending of it, but I didn't want that to take away from the rest of the book that I really enjoyed, so I'd still give it 4 stars. Next I read King of Pride by Anna Huang. This is the second in the series, and this is like a spin-off of Twisted Lies, Twisted Games. I still think I might like that series more, but I did enjoy this book a lot. I think these are all billionaire romances, so this was another billionaire romance. She is a writer working as a bartender, and he is some kind of billionaire. He owns a company. That's all I know, and that's all you really need to know for the book. He just is intrigued by her. It's technically forbidden because she works at a bar or club that he's a member of, so they're not supposed to fraternize, but of course they do anyway. And yeah, it just kind of follows their story together. I think it's cute. I enjoyed it. A fun little like pool and beach read, so I think good for summertime. And yeah, I'd give it like 3.5 stars. Next I read The Strawberry Pancake House, and this is the 4th in the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I skipped the Christmas tree one because not the vibe right now. And I liked this so much at the beginning. I loved the 2 main characters. It's like Grumpy Time Sunshine. He's like a world-renowned chef, and he moves to this small town because he figures out he has a daughter and he has to take care of her. And he starts working at this diner, and she's the nanny who's like kind of flighty. The daughter is so cute, and their relationship is really fun and sweet. However, They threw every single trope I hated into the last like 50 pages of the book, and I could not stand it. I was forcing myself to finish it. It was so annoying. And because of that, I think I may have to knock this down to a 3-star. Also, I've been giving everything 3.5 stars. They're not all 3.5 stars. I really struggle with rating. I think this has to be a 3-star. It was so close. And then it was just like, guys, you're really killing me with this ending. So it's still there if you need to read it, but I can't say it was my fave. Next, we have one that was my fave, Rewind It Back by Liz Tom Ford. This is the final in the Windy City series, and I'm honestly really sad about that. I love this series so much. This is also the first book I've bought from it, and look how cute it is. I love her so much. I just love the series. I don't know how anyone could not. This is Rio's book. So Rio has watched like all of his friends fall in love basically, and he's like secretly a romantic and waiting for his right person. And in this we learn that he fell in love when he was like 13 and has been in love with her ever since. And so it's flashbacks to their story as well as present day where she is living next door to him and remodeling his house. Also, he's a hockey player, so this is like all a sports romance series. And it is just literally the cutest thing ever. And I love the two of them so much. I love the story. It has pretty good smut. You know, it's a good book when I'm like, I don't even care about the smut. I just want to see them together. They're so cute. So 5 stars. I have no notes here, honestly. I'm ready for Coach's book. That's gonna be good. Okay, we're reaching the end here, people. 2 more books left. Next, we have Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is another series I finished. I'm so proud of myself finishing off all these series, but this is a 3rd in the Powerless series, and I'm gonna be so honest, like I did not fuck with the series the way the people did. I just don't know what it is about it. Maybe, I was gonna say maybe it's YA, but I've liked other YA series. I think it's this specifically feels like the romantasy genre in that like the world building and the conflict isn't the main idea, but it's YA, so like romantasy, you have like smut and romance and like this tension to fill the chapters. And for me, this just wasn't filling those chapters the same way. The ending was interesting. I really did enjoy the ending, the twist. People said there was gonna be good twists and turns, and there were. That was cool what she did with it. I wasn't expecting most of it, so I did enjoy that, but leading up to it, I did kind of have to like force myself to finish. I'd give this like a 3.5 stars. I don't know, maybe you'd enjoy the series more than I would. I don't want to say that it's not good, but I would recommend others before this. And finally, I forgot to grab the physical book, which is so annoying, but Phantasma was my last book of this month, and I literally finished it like on the final day of May, so glad I got to include it. But this is what I'm talking about with romantasy. The world building is not revolutionary, but the tension and the characters were so good, and it was fun and it was fast paced. It follows this girl who follows her sister into like this twisted game. It's kind of like a haunted mansion with like different levels that you have to pass through, but they're like obviously deadly. And she gets help from this ghost in the mansion. They strike a bargain. He helps her through all the levels if she helps him find something. And of course they have a little romance. Their tension, their banter is so good. The levels are fun. It moves quickly. And I just think this is like textbook fun romantasy. So if you're looking for one of those, I would recommend this one. And I gave it 4 stars. That is everything I read in April and May. Very fun reading months. I need to get better at switching up my ratings, clearly. I give everything like a 3.5 or 4. It's very hard for me. I don't like rating things lowly, if you could tell. I'm like, if I read it, if I finished it, like I enjoyed it to some degree. You know, I'm just rambling at this point. I need to finish this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.